Hey everyone, Mark Ferguson here. We'll be starting soon. I just want to make sure you can all hear me. If you can hear me, can you type yes in the chat box over on the right? That'd be awesome. All right, can anybody hear me? All right, cool. You guys can hear me. Give it a couple minutes and I'm going to get started here just to give people a chance to get in who might be running a little bit late. You can see my wonderful assistant's office right here. I'm in his office because people are in my office, so I had to find somewhere nice and quiet. All right, thank you all for responding. Cool. All right, we'll give it another minute, maybe two, and we'll get started. All right, I think I'm ready to go. So, yep, I'm Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. Thank you for checking out my webinar. I'm going to be talking a lot about real estate agents, how to be successful as an agent, how to get leads, what you can do if you're starting out, all types of great information. I should have some time for questions at the end. So if you stick around to the very end, I'll answer some questions. And then, yep, let's get started. So I will get my screen share going here. Cool. All right. So what's the best way to make money and generate leads as a real estate agent? We're going to talk a lot about leads, a lot about becoming a successful agent. Who are we gearing this webinar for? Anyone who's thinking of becoming an agent, anyone who's already an agent, not quite making the money they thought they would, real estate investors who are thinking of becoming agents to help their investing careers or as a whole nother career. Anyone in the corporate world who wants to get out and start their own business, become an agent. And, really being a real estate agent is owning your own business, starting your own business. And it's one of the easiest ways to start a business. Little capital needed, little of your own money. It does take commitment, does take time. You have to save your money, but it doesn't take a whole lot to get started compared to most businesses. So what I'm going to try and teach you today is how to start out in the real estate business so that you're set up for success, why most agents fail in the business, what you can do to be successful, the different ways you can make money as an agent, and which ones I think are the best, and why it's so advantageous to be a real estate agent and an investor. All right, also talk about how to generate free leads, that get you the most loyal clients, why online leads are not a very good source of business, and then how to build a business that will actually be worth money and sellable. I think most people think of real estate agents as, self-employed people who are salesmen. But really, if you set it up right, you can have a business that is worth something as an agent. So if you retire, decide to move to a different career, you could actually sell that business and it's worth something, which I think many agents don't realize they have that if they do it right. So if you stay with me for the next 45 minutes or so, hopefully we're going to learn to make a lot more money, generate more leads, and generate higher quality leads that allow you to run a business without you constantly selling, constantly working all the time. So a few things to think about. Do you know you can be successful as an agent, but listen to too many people who tell you you can't make money in the business? I know there's a lot of people who say agents don't make anything. It's a waste of time. It's not worth it. But then I also know a lot of agents who make a whole lot of money. So make sure you're listening to the right people when you're taking advice. Do you want to be self-employed or run your own business, but are scared of not having a steady income? That's a pretty scary thing, to not have someone telling you what to do, not have a steady income. It's all on you to make money. Do you want to move full time into real estate, but are scared you won't be successful enough to make it work? A lot of people try and go part time with real estate. It kind of sort of works, but usually it doesn't work. And if you can go full time, really, it's going to be the best route. Or are you making decent money as an agent now, but you never seem to have enough or save money? Too many up and down months. And you know you can succeed in the business, but don't have the proper training, a mentor, anyone to teach you how to succeed? Or do you feel like you've got to work way too hard for every lead, for every sale, and it's just, you're not getting ahead in the business? So you feel like you can be an awesome agent, but lack the tools and training to succeed. And we're going to help you out with that today. The real problem is not that you're not working hard enough. It's probably that you don't know the right way to attract the right clients. And that's what real estate is all about. So once you know how to get the right clients, you won't be as stressed about money. You should have a steady flow of sales coming in every month. You'll be able to spend less on leads, and that spending less actually generates more sales if you do it right. You don't have to spend a ton of money to be a successful agent. You'll be able to prospect less, spend more time with your clients and your family. You'll be able to afford to hire staff, start building a business. You'll create something that's valuable, something you can sell when you retire or decide to change course. And you can become one of the top agents in your area, making the money that the top agents make, which can be very, very nice. One thing you know, there's 6 simple things real estate agents can do to improve their business, save time, and sell more houses. So first, before we get going, a lot of you know who I am. You follow the blog Invest for More, but I run a real estate team of 10, including 6 licensed agents. So a lot of you know about my investing, but I got started as an agent. We routinely sell over 200 houses a year. At this moment, it's mostly my team selling, not me so much. But a few years ago, I sold close to 200 houses by myself. I own 16 rentals. I've flipped over 100 houses on the investing side. And then, I created Invest for More, a blog. We've got over 400 free articles. I hope you enjoy everything I've written. I basically write every single article on the site, unless it specifically says it's a guest post. So that is me you're listening to. All right. So in 2006, I made a grand total of $28,000. That was a bad year for me. Part of the problems was I was trying to do everything myself. I wasn't setting goals. I wasn't learning from those who had succeeded before me. My dad has been an agent since '78. I worked with him, but I kind of tried to do things on my own way. I didn't learn from anyone really. I tried to figure out how to get online leads to work, how to, set up my business so I wouldn't have to talk to people. And I did not do things the right way. That's for sure. That year I decided I had to change things. It wasn't working the way I was going. I started setting some goals. I went to my first conferences, which was a little scary, but awesome. And I decided if I wanted to be successful, I had to start learning from other successful people. So I attended courses. I bought some training. I listened to other agents in my office who'd been successful. And I really just changed everything I was doing. So I went from selling less than 10 houses a year to over 100 houses a year in about 3 years. It may have been less than that. And once I got to that point, I was able to hire staff. I was able to build a team. And instead of working more because I had so many sales going on, so much happening, I was able to work less because of the team I built and the way I set up my business. So how did I change everything? What did I do? The first step I want to talk about, always operate with the utmost integrity. So I learned this from my dad. It's not something I really changed, but something I've always done. But I think in the real estate industry, we run into a lot of unscrupulous activity, a lot of shadiness. And it's kind of the nature of the sales business, but you don't have to operate that way. In fact, it will hurt your business if you operate that way. So you need to realize that as an agent, you have to build a reputation, build a client base. And if you're not operating with the utmost integrity, if you're cutting corners, it will catch up to you. It will hurt your business in the long run. I mean, one deal is awesome, but you can't sacrifice your reputation, your integrity to get one commission check or to sell one house because you need money that month. You've got to think about the big picture. The more deals you do, the more your name will be out there. And if you get that reputation as an agent who's hard to work with, you will make less money. Agents won't want to work with you. Word will get around to clients, and it's going to hurt you. So while it might make you a little bit more money in the short term, in the long run, it's going to hurt you if you aren't acting with integrity, doing the best things for your clients, really going the extra mile. Not to mention, when you do the best thing for your client, it will help your business. Now, you can't do the best thing for your client when it screws somebody over, but what you want to do is, work for your client, do what's in their best interest, help them out as much as you can. In the future, that will build your business. They will tell people how awesome you are, and it will keep bringing more people to you. Now, I want to make one clarification here. You still have to work with other agents. So if by doing the best thing for your client, you're constantly trying to screw over other agents, hammer them on the inspection, hammer them on all these details just over and over again, that is not doing the best thing for your client, because that will also hurt you in the future working with other agents. You want other agents to be your friends. You want to be able to get along with them, work well with them, because they will help you succeed. You have to work with them. You have to interact with them. You can't be at war with them. All right, so what does operating with integrity do? Builds a great reputation for you and your clients. The better reputation you have, the more deals you'll do, the more money you will make. I have a few agents who I do my best not to work with, because I know there's going to be problems on every deal, either because they're supposedly working, for their clients and trying to hammer the seller, hammer the buyer for every little penny they can. Or I know they're going to ask for ridiculous things on the inspection over and over again. I know the deal isn't as solid as they say it is, because they're trying to make something work that shouldn't work. There's just those agents, who are trying to stretch things, push, as far as they can to the edge of the line. I try, if I have my choice between them and another agent who I know is going to do a good job, I'll pick the other agent all the time. And as an agent, sometimes you have control over that, sometimes you don't. But myself personally, as a property owner, I have complete control when it's my own house I'm selling. So do think about how your actions affect other agents. When you impress your clients, they will remember you. It's the hard deals that actually will help your business the most. If you've got a deal that goes smoothly, no problems, easiest thing in the world, they qualified for the loan fine, inspection was fine, no problems whatsoever, people don't really remember those deals. They remember buying the house. They remember, hey, this is a nice house, this is cool. But they don't really remember their agent. It just was kind of like, oh, that's how everything's supposed to work. And it worked fine. When people really remember you is when things just go downhill fast. When there's major problems, you got inspection problems, you got appraisal problems, people think they're going to lose the deal. They think they're not going to be able to sell their house, or not going to be able to buy a house. And when someone comes through, like the agent, to bring it all together and make it work, that's when they remember you. If you sacrifice a little bit of your commission to make an inspection issue go away, if you hammer the appraiser and challenge the appraisal with the lender, really go to bat for your clients, that's when they remember you. And the more clients remember you, the more they will refer people to you, and the more money you'll make in the long run. So if you have those hard deals, those deals that are just stressing you out, remember, that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity to impress people, to do your best work, and to show them how good you are. One really good book is Clients First. I don't have the author. The Callaways are the authors. I forget their first names, but really good book, Clients First. And they talk about how the people who are easy to work with, who never have any problems, they don't go to bat for you. They don't tell anybody about you because people always work with them. They're always easy to work with. They're used to people being nice and happy. But the people who are hard to work with, who, are grumpy, grouchy, you don't want to work with them. Those are the people who actually tell more people about how awesome you are if you do a good job, because they're not used to people doing a good job for them because of their attitude, because they're so grouchy or grumpy. So when someone actually goes to bat for them, does a good job for them, goes out of their way, they remember that and they will tell people about it. So again, just because it's a bad deal, just because you have a client who is just being a pain in the what, don't give up on them. Don't be a pain yourself. That's when you really earn your money. And if you do an awesome job on those deals, it's going to help you in the long run. All right, why don't all agents operate with integrity? Obviously, it's easy to say, hey, I'm going to operate with integrity. I always do. I'm a good person. Everybody says that. However, when you get into bad situations, that's when you really learn how much integrity you operate with. The real estate business is very up and down. Some months you do awesome. Some months you don't do so awesome. Some agents need money. A lot of agents don't plan well. They don't save their money. Once they get a few closings, they don't continue prospecting to get new clients. And so they expect these commission checks to come in. And if you have a closing that you're expected to go through, get your money, and then all of a sudden it might not go through, that's when sometimes agents will do unethical things. They'll try and convince their clients to go through with a deal they know isn't good for their clients. They'll push their clients. So it's not that people are bad and that agents are bad and that's why they operate without integrity. It's because they're put in a situation where they need money, they want money, they see their money disappearing, and they do desperate things. So remember that. It's not the good times when you have to operate with integrity, it's the bad times. And if you push people, if you make them do what's not in their best interest, they will remember that and they will tell other people about you, which will hurt your business. All right, the number 2 step change I really want to talk about, choosing the right broker will help determine your success. So you have a choice when you become an agent, or if you already are an agent, between brokerages. There are many, many different brokerages, all with different types of fee services, commission services. First one, low fee, no service broker who saves you money because you make more money per deal. A lot of new agents go to this model because they think, hey, I can get 100% of my commission. I only have to pay a $300, $400 transaction fee. I will make twice as much money, or much more money than the other broker who's taken 40, 30, maybe even 50% of my commission. So I'm going to go with a low service broker because I'll make more money. The problem is, if you don't sell any houses, it doesn't matter what percentage or what fee they take out of your commission, you're still going to make no money. So please think about very carefully what that no service, low fee broker is going to give you, because usually it's almost nothing. Now, the higher fee, full service broker, if you choose the right one, will help you sell houses. They will train you. They'll offer mentorship. They'll offer floor duty, leads, but you have to make sure you take your time to choose the right broker. Not just because they charge a higher fee does not mean they're better automatically. You have to make sure you check them out, talk to their agents. But in almost all cases, if you're trying to make a career out of real estate, paying a little more for more training, more support is going to make you a better agent in the long run and make you more money in the long run, even though you have to pay them more money per deal. So don't chase the dollar signs with the low fee broker. Chase the training, chase the support that will help you many years into the future. What does the right broker do? So there's a lot of brokers who charge high fees and don't offer anything. They don't offer training, mentorship, leads, but the right broker will have it set up so that if his agents succeed, he will make more money. He has motivation for his agents to succeed. He wants them to do well, and he will help train them. Whether it's the broker or someone else in the offer, right brokerages will offer a mentorship. Training with the broker or someone in the office, hands-on training, educational classes, time in the field, taking you out to look at houses with a broker or other agents, how to list houses, how to do open houses. They should be training you on these things. A broker has motivation to see you succeed because they make more money the better you do. The right broker also offers floor time. So floor duty, if you're not familiar with it, some of the bigger offices will have people who call in asking to buy a house, sell a house, and they don't have an agent. So they might just call a real estate office. The office will have designated agents for designated times to get those calls, and that's called floor duty, floor time. So if someone calls in, they don't have an agent, they will send that call to the agent who's on floor duty. Sometimes you get nothing. Sometimes you get listings, you get buyers. We've done quite a few deals from floor time with our office. Advertising. The right brokerage does advertising for their office, for individual agents, in magazines and papers, sometimes internet. They should have a good website. A website can tell you a lot about a brokerage, how seriously they take their agents, their business. I have seen some low service offices around here just promise the world in emails and advertising. You go to their website and it looks like it was built by a 7-year-old. It is horrible. And you kind of can tell, well, they're spending all their money on advertising. It's pretty obvious they are just trying to get agents in the door. And then after that, it's, well, you're on your own. So the wrong broker. Now it doesn't have to be a low service, low fee broker to be the wrong broker. Some full service brokers are bad as well, but they don't offer leads, no advertising, no support staff. One really nice thing about a larger office is you'll have a secretary or administrative assistant who answers calls, sets up showings for you. Sometimes they even have contract managers who will write contracts for you, double check everything's okay, make sure you're not messing up. The wrong broker has no motivation to see you succeed. It's a numbers game. They want to get as many agents in the door as they can and hope a couple will produce money for them. No training, no direction, just kind of, here you go, off on your own, go have fun. So being a successful agent is not easy, but it's really hard if you've got no training and no support. All right, so what are the best ways to make money as an agent? First thing I want to talk about, full-time or part-time. Most part-time agents do not make it. It's just a fact. It's very, very hard to make it part-time. There are some ways to make your chances better to succeed that we'll talk about here. One thing is you have to have a flexible schedule or support to handle your clients if you're a part-time agent. So if you're working a full-time job, 9 to 5, you can't answer your phone, you can't take a break, it will be almost impossible to be a part-time agent. Buyers, sellers, they will want to talk to you at different times during the day. They will want to see houses at different times during the day. Not only that, you'll have to talk to other agents, you'll have to talk to lenders, you'll have to talk to title companies, and they can't always wait till after you're done with work if it's an urgent issue or if something is going on with closing. You have to talk to them right away. So if you have that job where you have no flexibility, cannot answer the phone, you have to have help. You have to have a partner, join a team, someone who can handle your business while you're at work. I think that's the only way to reasonably do it if you want to succeed. It's very frustrating for other agents to work with part-time agents who cannot talk during the day. I don't want to have to wait till 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. to talk to someone, tell my client what's going on. If your buyers have to wait that long to talk to you or see houses, they're probably missing out on deals. They're probably not going to get the house they want. And that is not servicing your clients well. So if you're going to go part-time and you have a flexible schedule, if you can work at night, change things around, it's possible. Or if you can join a team or have someone else who can help you, then that's also possible as well. You might have to split your commission. You might have to pay them something to help you out. But it's much better to have that help than try and go at it on your own and not do a good job for your clients. All right, so how much money do agents make? It can be kind of scary looking at these numbers, but you have to realize there's more to it than just what you see at first. So the average salary for an agent is around $40,000. Now we know agents don't make salaries, but the average income for an agent's about $40,000. It seems kind of low for many people. But this includes part-time agents and really includes all agents across the board. I think about 5% of the agents make 90% of the money realistically, because there's so many part-time agents and so many agents who aren't doing any business. So don't let that $40,000 figure scare you. Just think, become the 5% of the agents who make all the money, and you will blow that number out of the water. And it's not rocket science. It's not extremely difficult to do, but it does take planning, work, some goal setting. Most agents don't have a plan. They don't know how to build a business, and they don't get any training. So they're just setting themselves up to fail if they just jump into the business thinking they're going to sell a bunch of houses without knowing what they're doing. So full-time agents will average over $50,000 a year. Agents who work 60 hours a week average over $80,000 a year. Now, I don't like that figure very much, and the reason is you don't have to work 60 hours a week to make that much money, but that is just a statistic I put in here to tell you that agents who work hard, who work full-time, do make a lot more money than the average agent. I don't work 60 hours a week. I probably work 40 hours a week, if that. And once you set up a team, once you get some help, you don't have to work nearly that much to make even a lot more than $80,000 a year. I know in my office, we're up to 45 agents or something. I'm not the managing broker, but I have my team set up kind of like I'm a broker. So my team is separate from the other office, but a lot of the agents in our office are part-time, work at home, but there's still multiple agents making well over $100,000 a year, multiple agents making over $300,000 a year just in our office. One of the agents on my team actually made over $100,000 in his first year in the business. So he's done awesome. He's just killing it. And he's not doing anything particularly special. He's just doing the basics, doing what it's supposed to do, and he's just making it work. So what are the different ways to make money? Buyer's agent is probably what most people start out with, just because it's easier to get buyers and listings, and that's what most of your training is geared towards. So showing houses, writing contracts, getting buyers approved for a loan, you help them through the closing process. It takes time and work to find buyers, show houses, and close on a home. So while buyers are easier to get, usually they take the most time, the most babysitting. And, not all buyers will buy, and some may switch agents at some time. So you've really got to be on your game. If you're working with buyers, make sure you're following up, talking to them, helping them out as much as possible, because there's no guarantee they won't go to another agent and let them sell them a house. Listing agent. So as a listing agent, you're listing houses for sellers. Is definitely harder to get listings just starting out, but it's more profitable. One of the reasons it's so much more profitable is it takes less time to list a house. So if you're showing buyers, houses, sometimes you show them 5 houses, sometimes you show them 20 houses before they find one they like. It can take a lot of time. With a seller, you're not showing them many houses. You list their house, you're taking pictures, you're marketing it. You should take your time, do a good job with it, but it's much easier to list a house than work with buyers. So it's more profitable, usually make more money per hour when you're working with listing a house instead of working with a buyer. Another huge advantage to working with sellers is you can market their house. You can do open houses there. You can advertise their house, Craigslist, the paper, magazines, online. You can put your sign in their yard. These are awesome ways to get buyers. So when you're listing houses, it automatically helps you get buyers, brings you more business. That's another reason why listing is so advantageous over working with buyers. REO and HUD agent. So one of the ways I got going was becoming an REO HUD listing agent. You're working with banks, REO companies. It takes time and experience to work with banks. Most new agents cannot just step in and start listing REOs right away. Many banks require 2 years experience. HUD is the same way. However, there are some things you can do as a new agent to get started in this business. It is expensive to be an REO HUD agent as well. I belong to at least 3 membership groups that are over $100 a month. I attend many conferences. It costs me a couple $1,000s each conference. Marketing, website. I have to pay for expenses on some properties for utilities, repairs. I pay them up front, then I'm reimbursed by the bank afterwards. So there's a lot that goes into being an REO and HUD agent. It's very intense. It's very involved. So make sure you think about it if you want to go that route. One way you can get started into being an REO and HUD is BPOs. So a BPO is a broker price opinion. And what it is, it's kind of like an appraisal, but not an appraisal. It's like a evaluation from an agent of what a property is worth. You can perform these for banks, asset management companies, and they usually pay you to do these. So if money's tight, it's a great way to get started making money right away. And some REO companies will give preference to people who do BPOs for them when they're hiring new agents. So that's one way it helps you get into the business. And also, if you're curious, REO stands for real estate owned, and that's the term many banks use for their foreclosures. I don't know why they use that term, but that's what they do. Now, of course, the rewards if you become a successful REO agent is you've got listings coming to you from multiple sources over and over again without having to do a whole lot of prospecting, and that's really nice. And those listings bring you buyers, just like other listings, more business. It's a great way to make a career out of real estate if you can do it. All right, I have a number of people ask me questions about property management. They want to get started in the business, but they want some kind of steady income, some kind of pay, and they get offered a job in property management, being, a management agent, a rental agent, helping tenants get into properties, working for property management companies. So it looks appealing on the outside. You get hourly pay, steady pay. They usually tell you, you can sell houses on the side, or we'll give you some training on how to sell houses. Best of both worlds. But it's very hard to make a lot of money in property management. And if you're a brand new agent starting out, I think you want to focus on training, on learning how to sell houses, on how to get clients. You don't want to be stuck doing a job all day long and then having to work, after hours on the weekends trying to sell a house here and there. That's the same as working a part-time job. And if you're thinking about building a business out of property management, you have to do a ton of work to really make it scalable. There's not a whole lot of money in it. And it's just very hard to sell houses while you're doing property management because it takes so much time with the accounting, showing houses to tenants, getting calls at all hours, getting maintenance set up. It's just a lot of work. So if you want to get into property management, you're probably going to make less money than if you are an awesome agent, unless you can build just a massive property management company. So it's something to really consider. All right, being an agent and an investor. I have been an agent since 2001. I've been an investor most of that time, and it is awesome for me. I save a commission on almost every deal I do because I buy most of my properties from the MLS. So when I buy a rental property from the MLS, I save 2.5%, 3%, whatever the commission might be. That's usually paid to me in cash or, a check. So I can have extra cash available to invest in more properties, make repairs, whatever it is. When I sell a house, if I'm flipping a house, I'll make money when I buy it, and then I'll make more money when I sell it, because when I list a house, I don't have to pay a listing agent to list it for me. I can list the house. I just have to pay a buyer's agent. So I save, a commission when I buy the house and a commission when I sell the house. That's a big deal. Really saves me a ton of money. I think I calculated it saved me almost $70,000 in 2013. That's the last time I calculated it, but it was a big chunk of change. Not only am I saving money, but I'm able to get better deals. So as an agent, I can act faster than other investors. I can check my hot sheets. I can check MLS. I can see a good deal. I can set up the showing myself. I don't have to wait for an agent to set it up for me. I don't have to wait for an agent to show it to me. And I can write the contracts myself. technically, I have my assistant write the contracts for me. Sometimes while I'm still at the house or driving back from the house, and I can get an offer submitted in a couple hours, which is a huge advantage. And I have more credibility as an agent. So, I know many other agents in the industry. They know I'm an investor. They know I'm an agent as well. They know I have a good reputation. Sometimes they will bring me deals for investment properties, knowing I can buy them fast. I won't screw over their clients, and they will get it closed if they're on a time crunch. All right. So now we're going to get to the real heart of how do you make money as an agent? What are the best way to get leads? What's the best way to build a business? And really, it comes down to a database. Excuse me. You can buy online leads. You can do open houses all you want. You can door knock. You can cold call. But if you're just concentrating on the next deal and selling the next house, you're leaving a huge opportunity behind you. And that's your past clients, your sphere of influence, your friends and family, who, even if they don't buy a house, they will send business to you if you market to them correctly. So building a database is the most important thing you can do. You've probably heard this before. And the reason you keep hearing it is because that's really what it's all about, is building a database of clients, marketing to those clients, letting them know you do an awesome job, and making sure they remember you. It also doesn't hurt to give them reasons to refer people to you as well. And the database, this is what can be its asset itself. I know of agents who have built up databases of thousands of people, and when they retired, they sold that database to another agent who could then market to the database, say, hey, I took over for the team, such and such, whatever it is. And it's a valuable asset. You can use that asset. You market to your database to get listings, buyers, referrals. So when you have your database, you want to send them a number of different things, but really you're just looking for business. Help them sell their houses when they're ready to sell a house, help them buy a house when they're ready to buy a house. And if anybody in your database knows someone else who wants to sell or buy a house, they should be thinking of you, because you're marketing to them. You're letting them know that's what you do. One thing that's really important to know: past clients will be more loyal to you than new clients. It's easier to get the past clients, and they're easier to work with. So new clients have no loyalty to you. They don't know you. It's just kind of like, well, I think you're a good agent. You seem like you know what you're talking about. Past clients know you're a good agent. They know who you are. They know you've been in the business, and they will be more loyal. So spend your time more on past clients and taking care of them than you do on trying to market to new clients, get new leads into the system. I think the numbers say it is 3 times more expensive to gain a new client than it is to sell to an old client who's already worked with you. And that brings me to one point I like to make over and over again. Online leads programs are not going to be as good as a solid database. The online lead programs like Zillow, Trulia, it's kind of like the shiny object. They try and sell you on how many leads you'll get, how awesome you'll be. Just pay them money. Leads will come in without you working. And the fact is, those leads are horrible quality. Very few of them ever close. And it's a waste of money and time in most cases. Zillow gave us statistics because we've been with Zillow before. Their statistics show about 1% of the leads that they give agents close. And that's coming straight from Zillow. So they're probably tweaking those and twisting those as much as possible to make them as high as possible. And they still only got it to 1%. So it's really tough to make those online leads work. There's no loyalty. They don't know you. It's tough. So we'll talk more about this. When you're buying those leads, it's not just Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. Many, many other companies are trying to sell you leads. When you become a new agent, you'll probably get calls all the time from people trying to sell you leads, trying to get you on the first page of Google, trying to do all this junk. Usually it's not worth the money. And they're low quality because they have, like I said, there's no loyalty. They don't know you. They have no reason to stick with you. If things get tough, they'll just switch to another agent. They find another house they like. They might just call the listing agent. There's just no reason for them to stick with you, where your past clients know you. They have a relationship. hopefully they will feel bad if they try and use another agent besides you. All right. So some of the reasons people have no loyalty with online leads. These sites are not just sending your information to the leads. Many times they're sending 3, 4 different agents the same lead. They're showing the lead 3 or 4 different agents' information. So they've got to choose between different agents, or they're calling different agents. Different agents are calling them. It's just like, it's not a good situation to be called 4 times right in a row. It is just not fun for the client. It's not fun for you. And then the agents, the leads are so bad and they have such low conversion rate, they stop calling clients back. They stop taking care of those clients. And then it's just this never ending circle of, well, the agents don't care. So the clients think all the agents are bad. They're used to agents not calling them back. It's just over and over again. Agents don't call, clients don't care, no loyalty. It never ends. People who look for houses online, often they're window shopping. They're not serious. They're just kind of seeing what's available. So it's not just because they're not loyal, but they're often not even ready to buy. And then agents are just notoriously bad at following up with clients. So even if you get some good leads, most agents don't follow up right. And that's something to remember as an agent. Make sure you're following up, you're calling, you're answering your phone, you're emailing them, because clients aren't just going to call you, leave a message and say, I want to buy your listing. You've got to talk to them, answer your phone, make a relationship with them. You've really got to go above and beyond, especially if you want to succeed with online leads. So how do you build a database? Sphere of influence is huge. Use your connections. Don't be afraid to talk to your friends and family, okay? If you're a good agent, if you're an awesome agent, you're providing them a service. So would you rather them use you, and you know you're going to take good care of them, help them buy a house, sell a house, have their best interest in mind? Or would you rather them use some other agent who they don't know, who might be trying to rip them off, screw them over, and not have their best interest in mind? So by you talking to your friends, your family, you're helping them. You're not selling them, you're helping them. You don't have to be a salesman and push it down their throat. Just let them know you're an agent and keep letting them know. So people you can talk to, professionals, doctors, dentists, lawyers, whoever you've spent money with, they're professionals just like you. Don't be afraid to ask for their business, see if you can help them out. You've developed a relationship with them. Coworkers, if you had a previous job, if you quit the corporate world, talk to your coworkers, let them know what you're doing now. Family, of course, you have to let your family know. Friends, and then past clients. So even if you're not an agent, if you're working in a different sales field, if you had your own business, if you had a corporate world where you had different clients, don't be afraid to reach out to them, talk to them, let them know what you're doing now. What if you have no contacts? So I have this question a lot where someone's saying, I'm moving to a brand new area. I know nobody in the town. I have no sphere of influence. Can I be a successful agent? The answer is yes. Now, it might be tougher, it might be harder, but you can definitely do it. So what are some ways that you can build your database without using people you know? Open houses, great way to do it. Again, you probably hear that a lot, but that's because they work. Thing is, you can't just do any old open house and hope, again, that people will show up, choose you as an agent, and buy the house. You've got to hold contests. We do one where we guess how many M&Ms are in a jar. We get people's contact information. Once the open house is over, we pick a winner, give them a gift certificate. Everybody else we call and say, hey, sorry you didn't win, but just want to let you know you came close. This is how many M&Ms there were. Great way to start a conversation. If they're not working with an agent, great way to try and get them to work with us. You can advertise other agents' listings. So just because you don't have a listing does not mean you cannot advertise other agents' listings. That's the same for open houses. You don't have to have your own listing to do an open house. And this is another reason why it's a great idea to work in a large brokerage that has an actual office with agents that you network with and talk to, because you're more likely to be able to have open houses for other agents in your office, advertise their listings, and they will let you do it. You can advertise for first-time home buyers, Craigslist, the paper, online, Facebook. You can do floor duty, like we talked about before. Join clubs, social groups. You like to golf, join the golf club. Play basketball, join basketball teams, tennis, social groups, all types of things you can do. Take an active role in anything you can. The school, your children's school, join the school board. I don't know if you want to join the school board, but take part in the parent-teacher meetings, the PTA. Try and join up and meet as many people as you can. Talk to people in your neighborhood. Hold open houses at your house. Have parties. Invite all your neighbors. Work. If you're not working, is your spouse working? Can you invite them to your little open houses, happy hours, barbecues? How can you take an active role? Anything you're doing, networking, talking to people, being social is key. All right, how do you market to your database? So once you've got this database, you're always continuously wanting to grow it. It's not something you just grow to 500 people and you stop. You're always trying to grow it, always trying to make it better. But how do you market to them once you have these people? You've got this list of people who either bought houses or there's a number of ways. One thing to think of is have fun. This doesn't have to be boring, marketing 101, but do things you like to do. We have happy hours for our clients. So either at a restaurant, we'll pay to have one of their rooms catered, give everyone a free drink, maybe 2 free drinks, stop by from 5 to 7, talk to our team. Really great way. Bring your friends, bring family. Awesome way to invite your database to get to know you better, build relationships. And, whatever you do, try and make it more personal for your best clients. So you don't have to invite everybody to your happy hour, but at least invite your very best clients. Invite your very best clients to personal lunches, to get coffee, whatever it is. Make sure they know you care and are keeping in touch. Newsletters are a great way. We email out newsletters once a quarter, information on the local market, things going on in the area. Sometimes we mail those newsletters, not just email them. Emails are an easy way to send out stuff. Again, interesting things, interesting articles, updates in our team. Try and make it fun, exciting, not just boring market stats all the time. Direct mail. So again, football schedules. Football schedules are great because you can send out, we send out Bronco schedules. They're magnets. They go in the fridge. Most people like the Broncos. They want to see a schedule. They'll pop it on their fridge, and our face and our number is right there on that schedule every day, almost all year long. You can do baseball schedules, all types of different things. Recipes, send them some fun recipes they might not have tried that are really good. Kids activities. If they have kids, show them some fun activities are going on that they may not know about in the neighborhood, in the area. And then local information, new restaurants that are opening up, new social things, new events, whatever it is. Be active in your town, in your neighborhood, and you'll know about these things, and then let other people know about them, and you're helping them provide a service, giving them things they'll remember. All right, so building a business. Like I said, with a database, you have a valuable asset you can sell. With a database, you've got leads coming in without cold calling, door knocking, or spending money on internet leads. You can spend that money from the internet on happy hours, on sending out mailers, on marketing to people who are more likely to buy houses from you. Once you get your database really working, really dialed in, you'll probably start selling quite a few houses, and that's where you hire an assistant and you can start building a team. So I won't go too much detail on teams, but hiring an assistant is probably the first step. Teach them how to do contracts, busy work, marketing to your database, the things you don't like doing. That's what you hire an assistant for. And the sooner you hire an assistant, the more free time you'll have to be out selling, making more money. Once you hire an assistant, you've got lots of leads coming in. It might be time to hire another agent. You can hire an agent. You can talk about how awesome it is, having an assistant, someone to help you out. You get part of their commissions for every house they sell. You can help them get started by giving them leads. Many ways to attract agents to your team. Basically, kind of start hiring more agents, more assistants. Everything feeds off everybody else. More deals done. We offer a ton of training for our agents. So that's one thing we do to attract agents on our team is we'll train you. We'll tell you exactly what to do. We've been in the business. We make a lot of money. And so you've got to offer value to your team as well. Early this year, I hired a contract manager. A few years ago, I hired a contract manager. All he does is write contracts, keep track of title company information, keep track of lenders. That's his job. Makes our life so much easier. All right, on to the next change here. Your attitude. So we've talked about what to do in the business, how to make money in the business, but your attitude is going to determine how successful you are, and really will determine a lot more than you think about how many houses you sell. So you have to think about how you think about yourself, success. Do you think you can achieve? Do you think you can sell houses? Do you think you can be successful? If you don't, then you're probably not going to be successful. If you don't set goals, if you don't know what you want out of life, it's going to be really hard to get what you don't know you want. So you have to know what you want, know how many houses you want to sell, know how much money you want to make. So you have those goals, so you can figure out what you need to do to be happy with what you're doing. And you have to remind yourself of those goals all the time. You can't just do it once a year for New Year's and then think that's going to work. You've got to keep reminding yourself what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish, what the big picture is. So how did an attitude shift change my life? When I was a kid, I loved cars. A lot of you know that. I always wanted a Lamborghini. I got older, got out of college. Society tells you, you shouldn't want a Lamborghini. It's bad to want nice things. You'll never have a Lamborghini because only rich people have it. You're not one of the rich people. Stop wanting one. And I did. I decided that, I don't really need a Lamborghini. I don't really like them because deep down I believed I would never have one. A few years ago, I changed the whole way I thought. I made some big goals. I stopped limiting myself. Jack Canfield coaching was a lot of that. Really helped me. And I stopped kind of lying to myself about what I did and didn't want based on what I believed I could have. So I realized I really do want a Lamborghini. I don't care what society says. I don't care if I believe I can have it or not. If I don't try, if I don't go for it, I know for sure I'm never going to get it. But if I at least try, then I'll know I've tried. And if I don't get it, I'm okay with that. But if I don't try, I'm not okay with that. So I made a goal in 2013 that I'd buy a Lamborghini in 2014. And I bought one in May of 2014. Been awesome. Not only has it been amazing, but the car is almost doubled in value since I bought it, which is a nice bonus. But that story is just to show you goals are so important, whether it's cars, money, business, personal life. You have to set goals for what you want to do, especially if you're a real estate agent, because you're your own boss. You're making your own business. You don't have someone else to tell you what to do. So when I started setting goals as an agent, it really helped me see, how much money I had to make, how many houses I had to sell to get to where I wanted to be. So I could look and say, hey, if I want to make $100,000 a year, here's the average price of a house in my area. Here's what the commission would be. Here's what split my broker would take. Here's how many houses I have to sell a year. If it was, 30, 40 houses, whatever it was. And I think, okay, I've got to sell 8 houses a month to reach that goal. That's 2 houses a week. I can do 2 houses a week. When you think about it that way, it's much more manageable, much more reachable goal. And you can plan, okay, how many people do I have to talk to? What do I have to do? What do I have to create in my business to sell 2 houses a week? And it becomes so much simpler when you can break it down, have a goal, and know what you're striving for. And don't be afraid to have big, scary goals. The bigger the goal, the better, as long as it's somewhat believable. If you have a goal to sell 1 billion houses, that's probably not going to help you because nobody can really sell 1 billion houses. But, if you think you can realistically sell 20 houses next year, don't make a goal to sell 20 houses because you know you can do that. Make a goal to sell 40 houses because you need a challenge. That will make you think, okay, how can I ramp up my game? How can I sell more houses? How can I push myself? If you don't sell 40 houses, but you only sell 30, did you fail? No, you sold more houses than you thought you could, even if you didn't reach your goal. That's what goals are for, to make you do more than you think you can. So, as far as goals go, it's nice to have monetary goals, but you need something you can visualize too. I've got rental property goals, flipping goals, monetary goals. but you can't really see those things, but I could see a Lamborghini and that's really easy to visualize. And that goal really helped motivate me, really helped me work hard, really improve my business. Belief in self-worth. Again, if you don't think you can do something, you're not going to do it. If you think you're bad at something, you're going to be bad at it. If you don't think you're worth anything, you won't be. I mean, if you're jealous and have bad thoughts about those with money, that's not going to help you out. I know I used to think of all the agents who sold houses, and I'd be, I don't know if jealous is a word, but like, oh man, they don't do anything to sell those houses. How'd they get so lucky to sell all those houses? Or I wish I could sell. I had these bad negative thoughts towards the people who are really successful. And that's just telling me that you want good, positive thoughts in your head about success, not bad thoughts. I was telling myself I didn't want to be those people because I had those bad thoughts in my head. But if I thought about them instead and saying, hey, how can I do that? That's really inspiring that they sold 100 houses. Maybe I can talk to them and have lunch with them and they'll help me and give me some tips. They might not, but you shouldn't be thinking, God, they're luckier. How'd they get so, to that stage? They're not that good at their job. Think about, wow, what can I learn from them? I want to be like that person. All right. Our last change here, step here. Don't be afraid to get help. I learned that the hard way. I went for 4 or 5 years without really getting too much help from anybody, listening to anybody, thinking I could do it all myself, thinking, I let my ego take over. I don't need goals. I don't need help. I can do it on my own. And it's why do we do that? If someone else can help us get there faster and quicker, why don't we let them help us? Because in the long run, we're going to make more money. We're going to be happier. And who cares if they helped us or not? So don't be afraid to spend money on education, on betterment. If you think everything you need to know is free and online, it might be. You might be able to get there. But then how long does it take you to figure it all out? And how do you know who you're listening to has any clue what they're talking about? So you've got to think about your attitude. Is it worth it to pay someone to help you get to where you want to be faster if it saves you hours and hours of time and you make more money? One thing that I learned in Canfield coaching too was what my time was worth. So again, free is great, but if you spend 40 hours to learn something, was it worth it? I mean, is your time worth 20, 40, 60, $100 an hour or more? I hired out my own lawn mowing, shoveling snow, fixing my sprinklers. That's stuff I can do. I know how to do it. But why would I do it if I can hire it out for $15 an hour and I can go be with my family, or I can work on my business where I'm making $100 or more? It doesn't make sense. So focus your money on big money focus your time on the big money activities, on your family, on building your business, not the little stuff. Don't be afraid to spend money for more time, to do things faster and do them quicker. You're going to be ahead in the long run. So I started out doing it all on my own. I didn't listen to anybody. Thought I was smarter. I didn't set goals, didn't plan my future, and it didn't work. Nothing worked. I would spend 6 hours researching airline flights to save $50. And I chose, I'd pick the cheapest flight no matter what, even if I had a 3-hour layover, as opposed to another flight for $50 more that was nonstop. So it doesn't make sense to save $50 when you're losing 4 hours of your life. Probably not. And I did that in a lot of different things in my life, not just airlines. So I changed by listening to those who had succeeded before me. I mean, that's the biggest change I did. I went to conferences. I bought courses. I listened to audio CDs, listened to other agents in my office. I got as much education as I could. I didn't just discount that advice either as, I can't succeed. They're in a different market, or I can't do that. I'm not that type of agent. I listened to it. And I spent $7,000 on Jack Canfield coaching. You don't have to spend that much money to be successful. I'm just showing you, I spent $5,000 on a mastermind. These are things I knew would make me more money in my business. It was so worth it. Probably made me 10 times as much money as I spent on it. And again, I was accountable because I had paid money into it, and you bet I was going to get my money's worth. So, who are you listening to? Like I said, there's a lot of free information everywhere. There's forums, blogs, friends, family. I am on a lot of forums and getting spending too much time correcting just horrible advice I see. People who pretend they know what they're doing, pretend they are successful, and you can tell by the way they're saying things that they have not done deals. They don't know what they're talking about. But other people believe them because they don't know any better. So be careful who you listen to. Be careful that who you're getting advice from is someone who's successful in the business right now, doing what you want to do. And when you get advice from someone who knows what they're doing, take it, use it, and change your life with it. So let's review what we just went over. What are the most important things to do as an agent? One, always operate with the utmost integrity. It will make your business better in the future, make it easier. Choosing the right broker, whether you're new or older, one that helps you get more business is going to be much better than a cheaper broker. More training, huge impact on your career. The best ways to make money as an agent, I think everyone needs to strive to be a listing agent at some point. It's easier. You can do more listings, and they give you buyer leads like crazy. Building a database is something you can build your business around, a valuable asset. You've got to have the right attitude. You can't go around thinking you're going to fail all the time if you want to be successful in this business. And don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to listen to other agents who are successful. Don't be afraid to go to conferences. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. All right. So you've got a choice. Are you going to use what you learned today? Are you going to forget about it? Keep doing things the same way? Most real estate agents never make enough money to buy an investment property. They don't sell enough houses to save enough money up. They just kind of float along, and they don't have a plan. They don't have goals. They don't have a path. So if you can use the information you learned, create your goals, create a path, and really build your own business, you'll be so far ahead of most agents. Now, of course, if you want some extra help, if you don't have a broker that's doing awesome training for you, if you want a little more help, I created a program to help real estate agents succeed even before you become an agent. So I've made it as affordable as I possibly can. Comes with personal coaching from me. We do conference calls, email coaching. I've got a full money back guarantee if you don't like it. Almost nobody uses a guarantee, but it's there. And the program helps you with your goals. Figure out how many houses you need to sell to make the money you want to make, to achieve what you want to achieve in life. The program also shows you how to build a business, like we talked about, a database, something sellable, a valuable asset. Who's it for? People who are serious about, changing their lives, changing the way they do things, building a real business, not just selling houses day to day, and people who are willing to invest in themselves and make their business better and the way they do things better. So it's called the 6-figure real estate agent success system. Some of the key things it goes over: how to generate leads through organic sources, like we talked about, building channel accounts like REO. It comes with an REO kit that teaches you how to get REO listings, how to work with builders, relocation companies, all sources of listings that will keep coming over and over, no matter what marketing you're doing. Building the database, figuring out how many houses you've got to sell to be successful, finding the right broker, and then, of course, building a team, getting to that point where you don't have to work all the time. You can have other agents working for you and helping you out. All right. So again, bi-weekly coaching calls. They're all recorded. You have access to the recorded calls as well. Email coaching, the guide on how to succeed, audio CDs, MP3s, goal setting worksheets, house sales worksheets, all included. And of course, you probably want to know how much it costs. For this webinar only, it's 30% off. So 6-figure 30 is the coupon code you use. I'm going to leave this link up here. The list price on it is $397 for full year's access. There's also a monthly option to make it as affordable as I can, because I know many agents don't have a lot of money. This is not a 4-figure program or anything like that. This coupon gives you 30% off that price. So here's a link to the full description, what's included, the link straight to the shop. Let's see. Questions? Let me Well, let's see here. I want to go back and get to my screen. Hold on a second. You can tell how awesome I am at operating the webinar here. All right, so let me see if I can screen share just that page. And if you guys want to type in questions in the chat room, you can do that right now. If I can get there. There we go. All right, so I had a question. Is there a copy of the slides? Yeah, if you send me an email, I can send you a copy. mark@investformore.com. And Matt asked if buying the six-figure agent program qualifies as proper training. I would still try to get training from your broker as well, but I think that will help. I mean, I don't think there's any substitute for local training, but if you're going to use a no-fee service broker, please do get some kind of training as well. It just, yeah, it's not smart to try and go on it your own. All right, so let me, nope. All right. Another question. I'm in a small town that averages 48 million real estate sales per year. What would be your strategy to capture a larger portion of the pie? Would you specialize or spread out geographically? Yeah, I might look at spreading out because that's a pretty small number. Obviously, you want to market like crazy to that your own geographical area, but where we're at, we go about 45, 50 miles out for sales. So it might be wise to go to a little larger town if you've got that few people in your population area. All right. All right. Any other questions? That's all I've. Oh, hold on a sec. Make sure. Just a few. I don't see anything else coming through. I will pop up the screen share on that link again. If it will go to the right presentation. All right, had another question. So yeah, if it's smart to branch out to towns 30 miles away or dig in to a local town. I would do both. I would try and definitely build a database where you're at, but then I would not be afraid to market to towns 30 miles away as well. But again, it depends on how big they are. If you're just marketing to, the same size towns as you are, and they have a bunch of logos dug in as well, that could be tough. But I'd start where you're at, the smaller town, and then try and, pick a couple other strategic locations to market to, if you can. All right. I see another question, but I can't quite see the full. Oh, there it is. Do you think it's a good idea to work as an assistant prior to becoming an agent? I think yes, depending on what your goals are, what you want to do. An assistant can learn quite a bit from a successful agent, so that's one good aspect of it. But at the same time, you're doing more busy work. You're not really doing the things that will make you sell houses. So if you're ready to go full bore, you want to get going as fast as you can, should probably try to be an agent right away. But if you're looking to take it slow, maybe get some steady pay while you learn, then maybe working as an assistant might be the better route. All right, I'll put this link up here real quick again. All right, so there's the link. I'll leave that up for a little bit, and then I'll take a couple more questions, and I've got to head out of here soon. And unfortunately, with this software, I can't see your questions while I'm screen sharing, which is frustrating. So just a second here. I'll leave this up a few more seconds and I'll go back. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions. Is that it? All right. Well, yeah, if you have any questions you think of later, shoot me an email, mark@investformore.com. That goes straight to me. And I look forward to hearing from some of you. And oh, one more question came in. Many franchises take 6% or more. Is that necessary today? My office is not a franchise that I work at. It is a local office. Honestly, I don't think it hurts us at all to be a local office without that franchise name. Maybe there's a very, very slight advantage to their national advertising, but I think it's very slight, very slight. I think building a business is not about national advertising. It's about, working your sphere of influence, building your own database. All right. Thank you guys for coming. Again, send me any questions you have, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.